This Organized Chaos video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Hello, you there?
Hello?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect.
Okay.
Let me just, I am so honored to be here. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank you so very much. I'm going in circles.
Oh, it's all good. I was actually planning to have you on a lot earlier, but that discussion actually got more interesting than I thought it was going to get. But yeah, that was way more informative than I thought. Can you tell us your name? Because I know you spelled it out for me, and I wasn't 100%. Is it Michael? What is it?
Well, you can call me Michael, but in my country it's called Mikayel. But yeah.
Okay, okay, that was the other pronunciation I was coming up with. That I wasn't sure about that. Okay, Mikayel. Okay. I know you've said a lot of things in the chat. I know in the last stream you were bringing up all, these are bad streamers, and you're talking about, like, reporting these guys, which it was an interesting thing to bring up. So I guess, like, just give us your thoughts on all this situation going on.
These guys, they really disturbed me. Like, I was watching what they were doing, and a lot of the stuff is what you review all the time, Oh, there's a black hobbit. What are you gonna do? Oh, there was never a black hobbit here. But then they just went into this insanely racist part where they just went up and just called this guy black for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, he barely ever goes on Double Toasted, and now they just paused the video of him and just started screaming about how black he is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how anyone could do that, something like that. I mean, okay, so that's a black person, but like that's how he wants to present himself. That's the way he wants to be. That's the way he thinks a black person should look. Why do you want to make him feel less comfortable? And then you start to realize what's going on here, and I just felt really disturbed.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's a lot of money to be made on this anti-woke stuff on YouTube right now. It's a big issue. I know you're bringing up reporting these guys, and it's something where I absolutely see an argument. There is an argument to go through and report them. I don't, and I'll tell you partially the reason I don't is because I almost feel like it'd be a waste of time. Part of the issue is that YouTube makes money off these guys right now. And that's frustrating.
That is so much of what I want to talk to you about what I feel YouTube has been since its inception, actually. Not its inception because the people who made this didn't envision this going in this direction at all, but it's really been here for a while now, and I was hoping that we could talk about that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't really know a whole lot about their inception, so you could definitely educate me on that.
Well, this whole thing about YouTube, I'm not sure where the first guy's name was because I'm horrible with names. But this first guy said that the YouTube, it was a place for right-wing people, and that's all right. I have no problem with right-wing people because another place where right-wing people feel comfortable is Fox News, and that gets played for laughs. They're so cringy.
Yeah.
But the right-wing people started out here with and they really rose when SJWs became a thing. And SJWs, I have a few issues with them, mostly because they just go into this innocuous place where they just see a crowd of people and just scream about their politics. But when that happens, it feels like there's no one who can stop them, because in the videos they don't get stopped either. Or at least they don't show what happens after the police get there. But when that happened, the people like Chris Ray Gunn and Sargon of Akkad and Jeremy from the Recording that came in a little later, these guys seemed like they were in control, just talking about how horrible and disgusting people were in that section. Those guys were the proto-anti-SJWs.
Yes.
Basically, yeah. Those guys were just coming in, and they were just talking. And they really got into the thing when clickbait became a thing. When clickbait became a thing, I'm not sure who did it first, but people started targeting these articles that were clearly lying and trying to show that most of the media is like this. So many rabbit holes were born out of this. So many people were just going after like insane rants about like people putting something in the water or something else, and this related to this news site or whatever. Yeah, this became an issue, and you can see this even now, where people just take weird articles from like the Mary Sue, which is, I would like to say, is just an opinion piece section.
Yeah,
None of
absolutely.
this is real.
I find people get triggered by the Mary Sue way too often. I mean, obviously the very title is just designed to trigger a lot of these people and just does opinions. Yeah, it's interesting how a lot of these places tend to do these right-wing rabbit holes. I know Facebook got in trouble with it a few years ago, and I'm not even sure if they really did anything to address it. But YouTube is definitely doing the same thing. I'm just pointing out on the movie review side because that's the side I'm on. But like, if you look at YouTube, there's all types of right-wing stuff that's like pushing you in that direction, which is very frustrating.
There's a reason for that, right-wing stuff. The reason is, in right-wing media, they felt comfortable coming here, and they really influenced a lot of people, which is like Jeremy from like The Quartering and Jeremy from like the other thing. They're both named
Geeks
Jeremy.
and Gamers.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are probably influenced by the wrong side, the dark side, as I like to call it.
Yeah.
The actual Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, those people. Like, most of the time, I have trouble believing that these people even understand what they're talking about, because the Daily Wire, it's very transphobic, but then I see The Quartering talking about how, oh, I have a lot of gay friends. And I'm not saying transphobic, they're also gay-phobic and all that other stuff.
Yeah, they're bigots.
Yeah.
Bigots is the nice blanket term I like to use.
Good, thank you. I'll use bigots from now on, but these guys, they go into this, and I saw Jeremy from The Quartering talk about how he has like gay people and he's okay with letting them go with their kids, and then he literally dead ass uses like fucking Daily Wire.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand because he puts so much blind faith into these people that he doesn't understand what he's doing half the time. None of them do.
Well, I'm not even sure. I don't even know if it's necessarily blind faith as much as they've realized that there's money to be made by taking this angle. And I think the Daily Wire, in a lot of ways, will be like the signal post for a lot of these guys. I feel like Ben Shapiro does a video, and then all of a sudden you'll get 50 other videos by these guys within like 1 or 2 days saying like very similar things. It's kind of insane.
Let me ask you a question. They look good, like their channels from Nerdrotic especially. They look very good production value. And even Jeremy, where he from The Quartering, he has to think about how he's going to present himself, how he's going to do all this stuff like differently, how he's going to make different inflections each day from like every video. And although it all looks the same, well, he's trying apparently. Why would people do so much work on doing this kind of work every time? Why don't they do something else?
Money.
Well,
unfortunately they've made this too profitable. YouTube makes money off this, so they're fine letting these other guys make money off this. And it's an issue, and I like the best way to address it that I've found is always just to get it out there, to call it out, to say, hey guys, this is a problem. And just hope people start listening. Because if you keep on saying it, gosh, hopefully some more people start listening, and more people start listening, that it becomes more of an issue, and then they start talking about more in the public discourse. That's the only way to really affect change, because YouTube's not going to change as long as it makes some money.
And, after this is why your channel is so important, because besides you, there's also a place called Counter Pop Culture, which is you've been on the site, but
yes.
You two are all there is. You two, and plus there's also other people.
Yeah.
But there's a very few that we can put our faith in, and you guys are what I know, and the few that we can put our faith in, They don't make a lot of videos. Like some other places, they don't make week after week like you guys. And Gamergate, the site I choose to say, my sister went through Gamergate, and she's,
Mm-hmm.
a girl. And the reason why Gamergate becomes so big and such a big problem is because there were people that wanted to stop this before. But to stop this, you have to get into the chat and you have to buy the specific games. These Gamergate crowd keep on going on. You're not always going to get a lot of contestants simply because it's not accessible. Everyone is accessing the same platform. So you can literally go into the same people who are doing all these horrible, like, against women and all these conspiracy theory channels and gobbledygook and basically stop them. That's why I think your channel and Counter Pop Culture and all these other channels are so important because, I'm not saying that, this is going to stop them right now, but it's
No,
right.
it's a long process. I mean, we are actually significantly smaller than those. I think I might be one of the bigger channels actually calling them out. What kind of frustrates me is like there will be big channels that obviously know there's a problem and obviously will say something, but they rarely do any calling out. Sometimes, usually not at all. And that usually frustrates me because it would be nice if they actually said, "Hey, so and so, freaking Nerdrotic calls Phase 4 of the MCU the MCU. That's sexist. That's so easy to call out, too. It's clearly sexist. And lots of these guys don't want to call it out, most likely, because they're afraid they share a fan base with these guys, and they don't want to discourage those fans. And to a degree, I get that. I know when I was really popular, I had kind of a concern, and kind of the thought going through my head was, well, maybe if I'm, just speak reasonably, they'll listen to me more, and then I could coax them away from that. And then kind of what I started realizing is that it doesn't work that way. You kind of just have to say it, and then if they're not willing to listen to you, they're not willing to listen to you, but, you got to say what needs to be said.
Be a good man in the situation.
Well, I don't know if I'll go that far, but yes, I've seen a definite issue, and it needs called out. I know there's a couple channels I'm not super familiar with, but I know, I want to say Sean O'Rourke has called out Nerdrotic quite a few times. Yeah, I've not seen a whole lot of his stuff, but I know he's pretty active calling out these guys. Turf Nation is actually a channel I keep on meaning to check out for the past few months, but I've never checked out, but I know they've done a special on Nerdrotic. At least. But yeah, there are other channels calling this out. But yes, we are few and far between. And strangely enough, I might be one of the bigger ones, which, okay. But yeah.
I know how you feel, man.
Yeah, it's like, I never thought of myself as a particularly huge YouTuber, and I'm not. But, yeah, as far as actual, saying, hey, there's a problem, I guess I am.
Yeah, maybe you can do a collab video with a couple of these guys. Maybe take the tactics that these anti-SJWs, which is making a podcast every fucking 5 seconds.
Oh, God.
This is what they do all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But every second, every year, week, they just keep on making podcasts everywhere. Mm-hmm. With every single anti-SJW weirdo I've ever seen just in one place at once. Mm-hmm. Usually with Mahler.
Yeah. So well, he has his EFAP, which is fairly popular, which, strangely enough, I was actually on a stream with those guys once. So yeah, that was
a lot of people are with Mahler. I even saw one with I Hate Everything. That hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a couple guys that will pop on there where I get, oh, that kind of hurts. Didn't YMS pop on one recently? I thought I saw. Just kind of really.
Oh, I'm not sure. That's the thing.
They're popular, and they have I'm certain they feel like probably they have a lot of crossover fans, so they don't want to disturb their fans, so they'll work together. It's all about the money, unfortunately. Oh.
How much money are they making out of this? Can't they make as much money by just talking about pop culture the normal way, or just say, hey, this is what's here, you should get excited, and get people into this thing, and then be able to make more money. That's what anime reviewers do all the time, and they make crazy amounts of money.
Well, we can kind of look into that. That being said, we're just going to be able to look at ad revenue. Do you know about Social Blade?
Social Blade? I've never heard of them. What is it?
Oh, Social Blade allows you to look at lots of YouTube metrics, social media metrics. Let me go ahead and bring this up on here. Okay, so let's see. What Critical Drinker.
Oh God, Critical Drinker.
Yeah, he's probably the biggest movie YouTuber right now.
Yesterday, I saw your video about that guy, or a day before that, and man, he is boring. Like, he doesn't go over anything that's really that interesting, and just relies on the message and modern audiences every day.
Oh shoot, I'm not sharing this. Okay, let me bring up the screen capture here. All right, so I brought the Social Blade on Critical Drinker. And we can see monthly he brings in $4,000 to $60,000.
$50,000 on? Oh wow!
A month. And I know because I have experience with YouTube quite a bit. His estimates are probably closer to the higher end, so he's probably not making the full 62. He's probably making at least 50.
Oh. Well, listen, like what they're doing, I feel like we can do too. You know, it'll take a lot of work. It'll mean we have to go through a lot of social media and checking sites and stuff like that. But what my hope is that one day we can have something like ground news on YouTube from these channels. Because, well, you guys are really good at fact checking people. You guys are really good at finding good outlooks on things. So, like, just having a way to educate people, because you said that from the last video with whoever that guy was, that if there's any way to fact check people, well, making a ground news would be a great first step.
No, I see what you're saying. It also requires quite a bit more resources than I have, other than just basic, research. But yeah, I mean, I like the idea. It's a good idea.
The thing is, these guys aren't smart. Like, they might be smart in where they got, but they don't say anything smart. So, like, if we just show them real news, like real ways of research and why things happen the way they do, then maybe it'll get so much better.
Oh, Miguel Gray just brought up actual fandom. That's a guy that I actually see on Twitter quite a bit. I like his takes. I like him quite a bit, actually. I've not seen his videos, though.
Yeah, I've never heard of Miguel. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's really hard to get to know you guys. Like, the only people I knew that were going against them were you and Counter Pop Culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's hard to figure out who to listen to in the algorithm, you know?
Well, it's like, even someone like YMS, who I kind of like, he's working with, I don't know, EFAP's questionable. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, like, people like Mahler and EFAP, I know they do questionable stuff. That being said, I'm not really interested in diving in, because those things, like, I think I saw they brag about the average length of an EFAP is 5.5 hours. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm not touching that.
Oh my God. Yeah, but like, we gotta get tech savvy. We gotta understand where we're going with it.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, like I said, the first step is calling these guys out, and the more we say it, the more people listen, and hopefully we just get the message out there that, hey, YouTube is going down a right-wing rabbit hole that's really disturbing. And
it's kind of been like a while a right-wing rabbit hole. The reason why YouTube doesn't do anything is because it makes them money. It doesn't care. So what we need to do is just, okay, it's right-wing right now, but like the Congress, we need to change it a little bit, you know? Yeah. I'm not saying that change up all of the politics from like right-wing to left-wing, but just get rid of the stuff that just doesn't work, goddammit.
Well, that's the thing, like, if you go way too far in the fringes of right or left-wing, frequently those guys seem to agree. It gets ridiculous. But yes, I was going to bring up a point. But yes,
sorry.
Yeah, no, I had a point. But yeah, it happens. I think I like a lot of what you're saying, and yeah, the idea is just shout these guys out. Is there, like, do you have a YouTube channel you want to shout out?
Well, unfortunately, I don't really have much, but Counter Pop Culture, definitely.
Yes.
I really like that guy. I really like what he wants to do. He doesn't like a lot of Marvel movies, which is too bad, but we're not all perfect.
No.
Yeah. And I like that guy.
I do think I probably give Marvel a bit more of a pass than they deserve. That being said, it's also not nearly as bad as people make out. Like, these people hate on. It's like, those aren't even good critiques, dude.
The reason why I think a lot of people can agree on Marvel is because before Marvel, we had a lot of pointless action movies with just a bunch of people shooting guns, like Hitman. Like, there was nothing special about Hitman. The video game was a lot more popular, but like, of all the stuff that Hollywood could have done, that was just sad. So Marvel, the action scenes on them looks perfect. Sometimes it doesn't match with with some of the stuff that's going on, but at the same time, the action in Marvel always inspires. It's always unique. It's always cool. Like when Captain America took down that helicopter.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the thing that, like, lots of people like to bash on the MCU, but I feel like MCU has really changed the game for comic book movies. Because before the MCU, I feel like your average comic book movie, it's kind of a crapshoot where or not it's going to be something amazing or just a complete piece of crap. Lots of them were complete pieces of crap.
I remember Spawn. That was a terrible thing.
Yeah, Spawn
and
was bad.
have a lot of problems. Yeah, and I do have a lot of problems with people who call out the diversity in Marvel movies. And I will say why this. I agree with a lot of what they say, but at the same time, like coming from my experience, I was born in Armenia. There aren't a lot of Armenian actors. There are just no Armenian actors at all. Like, if they ever get any jobs in Hollywood, I hope I see him, but I probably won't. And the thing is, Marvel has never cared about what color your skin is, at least from what I can take. I mean, when they got Domino in the role, I thought, wow, like, that's completely different from what I was expecting. So, like, they don't care. I mean, that's the coolest thing. And sure, sometimes they take stuff like a non-gypsy actor, but at the same time, like, how many gypsy actors are there? Actually, I don't check me on this, but like finding the right areas where you can get a gypsy actor and like search up your time codes and how you could translate her like stuff if she has like, a different language would probably be a lot of work. Why not just get a really good actor then? And I like the portrayal of the Scarlet Witch.
Absolutely.
I agree with them. But at the same time, like, let's be honest here. Where the hell were they when Critical Drinker comes in with his homophobic or transphobic or any kind of phobic outrage? I mean, I'm not sure if he's that bad, but, like, I haven't seen any good videos with women on him for him. Yeah. And where were they when Nerdrotic was there? Where were they when they were going on this horrible thing for, like, YouTube to be on? They criticize Marvel for not being like, diverse enough. But when people are actively against diversity and it goes into other media and fuels the fire for all these for all these like racists, where are they when all this problem happens? It's not about diversity. I feel like they're just against Marvel. Listen, I understand being against Marvel because you get burnt out, as you said, being burnt out of this is like a fairly normal thing, and I'm not going to force you to watch it, but like, don't go against something with hate, goddammit.
Yeah. If you're going to go against it, actually like critique the goddamn thing. Like, if you're going in it with the intent to hate it, then might as well just not go in it, because if you go into anything with hate, you're going to find a reason to hate it. I mean, it's not that hard. Everything has its flaws. No movie is perfect.
Yeah. I remember this one channel. It's called Believe It or Not. I really like that channel because it points out sleazy religious people. But then I just saw him. What is God the villain? And like, goddamn, he lumps so many Christians into one place. Even seeing his picture for his video, like, search up his picture of his video and see what happens there.
All right,
It's called Believe
what
It
is
or
this
Not,
guy?
Is God the Villain.
Oh.
Are you typing it in?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Thanos.
Yeah.
There, let me go ahead and share that.
Yeah. He's going to just his point in that whole video is just, hey, why did God create hell? I mean, the simplest answer is the most basic answer is the correct one. We just want to see bad people get punished. God damn it! Like, that's all the reason why hell is there. Even in other cultures, there's a hell. But this guy just goes in and says oh, then this means that he's a villain. This means he doesn't help anyone. And I understand people who get that way, but if you don't believe in God, then understand why some stuff is in the Bible in the first place. Why hell exists. We just want to see bad people get punished. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you see that even non-movie reviewers, there's just a money to be made in hate, and I just don't like that as a general one.
No, like I brought up, it's all over the place in YouTube. Well, I just stumbled okay, so I have my personal YouTube account that I use to actually watch videos, but then I have my Organized Chaos account, which is now, just because of what I've been doing, flooded with these anti-woke videos. And there's a guy called Rageaholic, which essentially seems to be he's getting really popular, and he essentially seems to be like a critical drinker, except he covers news stories in the most bigoted way possible.
And plus, there's just one point in when I saw this from Drunk C3PO, I almost lost it. He just goes in and he says, no matter what, Disney is always telling you that you cannot catcall people in the street. You're goddamn right you can't catcall people in the street.
That's called being an asshole.
Yeah, and this guy is saying Disney is trying to stop this whole thing from... No, I think the law enforcement was doing that before.
Yeah. Okay, okay. If anybody happens to watch this at some point and is thinking about calling people, unless that person's a really fucking good friend, don't do it. Period.
Yeah, and plus, the way they did it in She-Hulk, it was kind of funny. I saw it a second time, and there was one dude that was staring with his dead eyes on the camera. I mean, that's the thing I don't get. Why are these people complaining so much when there's some funny ass scenes in this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I saw a lot of these guys, Critical Drinker, defended the guys who were surrounding her outside the fucking bar.
Oh my god!
It's yeah, guys, I don't know if they're planning on raping her, but they're doing some shit that they shouldn't be doing, and you're going to defend them just because She-Hulk chased them off? What the fuck's wrong with you?
I mean, this is the stuff why I feel it's very important to have channels like yours, because these guys aren't going to teach anyone moral lessons about anything.
No,
these guys
they're
are just
actually going to learn all the wrong lessons.
Yeah.
Yes, Miguel, you can't catcall yourself. That is acceptable behavior. if you feel so compelled, go ahead.
Thank God. Yeah, Miguel, catcall yourself. All right.
Yeah,
you know what? I'm gonna catcall myself today. I'm just gonna look in the mirror and do that.
But yeah,
catcall myself. Hello there.
Well, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Well, sure. The thing is, when we were going into the thing, I actually love Lord of the Rings, and I've read the books and stuff like that. And there is a political message in there that even Peter Jackson kind of put in. And do you want to hear about it?
Sure.
Well, Peter Jackson was not Peter Jackson, but Tolkien had a political message in there, and which is when Sauron makes the rings, he brought in an age of prosperity with the rings. People were able to control the elements and whatever, but it also made him control all of the rings. You see, in Tolkien's time, a lot of things in his childhood were being replaced and changed. There was like an oil rush. There was an entire industrial revolution. At one point, Tolkien actually said that the age now is 7 times more violent than anything that it has happened in the Dark Ages or in the Middle Ages. And because of World War I, things were just way worse than anything that he could even announce in the earlier years of the Middle Ages. So Sauron gives off an age of prosperity with the Industrial Revolution, which is what Tolkien criticizes. Mm-hmm. But he also gives off an age of control, where he controls all of the rings and controls everyone around him. In that way, he is showing a political message over the Industrial Revolution, where the oil barons and all these oligarchs give a lot of, not oligarchs, but capitalists give off an age of prosperity, but they also take something away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's fairly fascist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an interesting take. It's also the obvious takeaway is also about how, the Fellowship of the Rings is supposed to be a group of people of various races, elves, dwarves, hobbits, humans, going together to save the day. So the idea that, we can't have multiple races in the series doesn't make sense.
Yeah. The thing is, it's a simple story, and it's been carried over to so many things, even anime, which it's having an influence over. It's such a simple story with such simple characters that it's incredible.
Yeah.
You see, that is the message I feel. And also another message, remember those assholes that were just going off and saying, you have something to draw on? All right, what they have to draw on, I really don't want to take away anything from Tolkien's memory, but he was a man of his time. And back then, history was very shallow over anyone that wasn't the Roman Empire, which Gondor was very based on. So the people of the characters, we have black people, we have Asian people, all those other people called the Easternlings. So every single adversity, every single person that's like me or like anyone else is called the Easternlings. And all we really have about them is that they got tricked by Sauron and have to be in his army to take over Gondor. That's it. So what they mean of drawing upon this is by just put them over there and just don't mention them ever. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I really care? Do I really care if a black actor comes in a role that is typically white?
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing. Denzel Washington is the greatest. Sorry. Were you gonna put something into this?
I think you're going the same place I was thinking about going to, but I was gonna let you finish your thought.
Denzel Washington is the greatest actor in the silver screen, and when he comes in, there's a lot more fans of Denzel Washington that might be interested in the hobby of reading the books and so on and so forth. So having a black actor that is very famous coming in and just improving it in a role is so good. But Critical Drinker and all these other guys, they're just gonna look at him wait, is there a black guy in here? Oh, there, now there's woke.
Yeah. Oh, women do think, oh, how woke. That seems to be the whole angle. The only piece I was going to add, you didn't go quite the same place I was thinking, but again, not to tarnish Tolkien's memory, but to be blunt about it, if J.R.R. Tolkien in his time would have objected to the idea of casting a black hobbit in his series, then kind of my idea is just fuck him. I'm glad they aren't following what he'd want to do then.
And I'm not really sure if he would.
Yeah, I don't know either, but if they're trying to argue that he would, and if he would, I don't care. I don't.
All right.
It's a different time. He doesn't live in today's day, and if he had that opinion living in today's day, then I still say fuck him. And listen, we don't know if that's his actual views. We don't know, but it's definitely these guys' views. So,
and plus, I wanted to add these people know how much we limit ourselves by just focusing on stories that came after his time? Like, we live in a different world, like
Yes.
very, very
Yes.
different. So just focusing on every single story we can do on that age is just so pointless, in my opinion, because we could do so much more too.
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot more we could do. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with exploring modern ideas and stories. In fact, that's what sci-fi and fantasy typically does. I mean, Star Trek did it all the time back in the 60s, and they're still doing it now.
I can see the Star Trek shirt on you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think... Yes, Star Trek. Yeah, in the 60s, they were always covering political issues. They do it under the veil of, oh, we're going to this planet and so is happening. But yes, they explored shit like this all the time. It's just something fiction typically does, especially sci-fi and fantasy. So I think it's weird to get upset over sci-fi and fantasy when it does stuff that it's meant to do.
You know, like Chris Gore going off and like presenting himself as some kind of a professor and saying how like we don't put any political stories in this. Come on.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Everything has some sort of politics in it. Even if your goal is to not put politics in a story, well, guess what? You're indirectly putting politics into it by not adding politics. Just everything's a reflection of the time. Everything's...
And I've debunked the only thing that these guys always bring up, which is Lord of the Rings. It did have politics in it. God damn it! Stop it.
Yeah. All this stuff had politics in it. Star Wars had politics in it. Are you gonna tell me that the Empire and the Nazis had nothing in common? Come on.
Oh no. Like Star Wars doesn't have any fascism leanings on it.
Yeah.
It's just that could be anything.
Yeah. No, it's pretty clear what it is. No, yeah. I saw the meme a while ago, and I still love it. It's like, when did Star Wars become all political and anti-fascist? And the answer, 1977.
We need a guy like that in TikTok.
Yeah.
When did politics come into Star Wars? And then just a dry guy goes in, 1977.
Yeah. If you didn't see it, you're not paying attention. Listen, it's fun. It was fun chatting with you.
Yeah, of course. And of course, I have a sci-fi question for you if you want to hear it.
Sure.
All right. So let's say a human goes in and records himself in a hologram for all of his reactions, all of his personal theories, all of it, everything that he has in his entire being, and just records himself for his entire lifetime. And then an AI sees these recordings and reacts to the real world based on what this guy's reactions to the world was. Is the new creation considered a human?
Yeah, that's why I thought you were going with that. Yeah. Well, that goes to the question of what is a soul, pretty much. Are we just the collection of our memories and our ideas, or is there something more to us?
I think the origin.
We're getting deep.
I think, therefore I am. What's that?
We're getting deep. What do you say?
Yeah. I think the beginning of this was, I think, therefore I am.
Yeah.
And plus, and this also goes into a technocratic idea of things, which is Australopithecus used to be our ancestors, and they used to be all over, but you don't see them around anymore. We're Homo sapiens now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how evolution works.
Yeah. So I'd love to do more podcasts like this in the future. We could talk about way more about this stuff. And also, I talked about to Double Toasted, and they would like to do a podcast about addressing this stuff for a fee, of course. I guess.
Of course.
Yeah, you don't have to.
It's all about the money.
Yeah. I mean, you see what their videos are like. 50-minute ads about stuff.
Yeah. But yes, it was good talking to you, man.
Of course.
Have a good one, man. Yeah.
You too, Organize. Wait, what was your name? Sorry.
I'm Bob.
Well, that's good. My name's Mike. So, Bob,
all right.
I've had a great time. Yeah. Have a good one.
You too. That was fun. Yeah, this is something the stream kind of allows. I can actually talk to people. Something I'm not as used to. I kind of talk to people in the Premiere chats, But yeah, this is a whole different experience. I kind of dig it.
They think order and chaos are somehow opposites and try to control what won't be.
Do you enjoy pain?
Pain don't hurt.